to Happenings at QRC. Today we are exploring test and analysis tools for the radio frequency spectrum. Our questions compare software-defined radios to a software-defined platform. Wow, abandoning your own engineering efforts speaks volumes about the value the WBT must be bringing these people. Why exactly did they switch to the WBT?
I agree. Abandoning your hardware effort really says a lot. If people who have already sunk hundreds of thousands of dollars into their own hardware solution throw them out in favor of the WBT, why would anyone who hasn't yet begun start anywhere else?
Let's look at why starting with the SDR plus computer configuration limits your success. Consider what is typically provided with your SDR purchase. First, you must select an SDR from a crowded field of vendors. Some SDRs cannot provide a digitized RF data stream in the I and Q data format. Such devices only give you an energy measurement. You need the digitized I and Q data stream to do any real demodulation or signal processing. Most SDRs come ready to connect to a laptop via USB. Most SDRs have an application programming interface software and provide a visualization tool like a spectrum display. Actually programming and making use of the SDR's I and Q data streams for your specific application is very far from this out-of-the-box starting point. With most SDRs, you get a box and a USB connection. The out-of-the-box capability may include a way to tune the SDR, or it may not. So unless all you want is a very limited spectrum viewer feature that comes as example code, you have a lot of engineering gaps to fill in. Creating an integrated product that does what you want to accomplish is miles past that. Consider some of the radio tuner features that narrow your choices for the SDR. RF bandwidth is a critical feature. Many SDRs are available with smaller bandwidths, like 16 or 32 megahertz, but the market advantage of flexibility is with the wider bandwidths, like 50 or 80 megahertz of simultaneous bandwidth. Your product will be more versatile and able to demodulate wider signals with wider bandwidth tuners. For example, the cellular technology LTE would be nearly impossible to demodulate with a narrowband SDR. A wider bandwidth accompanying a wider tunable range also increases the flexibility for the analysis of the wireless Internet of Things in our communication industry. Most SDRs employ a USB 3.0 data connection to the computer. USB 3.0 can be a serious disadvantage for the SDR plus computer configuration. If your product will transmit and receive with the same tuner, the USB may not support the digitized data rate that you need. The USB 3.0 chipset may be a bottleneck for the data transfer from the SDR to the computer hard drive. Chipset choice becomes a design issue. Most computer manufacturers don't publish the USB chipset controller identifiers in the sales data sheets. So good luck finding a source of laptop PCs to go with your software-defined radio. For example, Edis has a table on their website that shows 3 recommended USB 3.0 chipsets for the computer. Use of this SDR means your product solution would require a specific short list of computers with one of these ideal USB chipset controllers. As you can see in this table, the Edis SDR they indicated cannot stream the 25 MHz bandwidth promised in both directions at the same time, even on some of the USB chipsets that they recommended for use. In the final analysis, only one chipset has the flexibility to fully use the SDR bandwidth. That's the kind of integration problem you will discover after you select an SDR. We designed the WBT with a PCIE bus technology to reliably process 80 megahertz of bandwidth without loss. And the WBT keeps over 90% of the system's CPU available to process and make use of that I and Q data stream in your software solutions. In the WBT, we provide developers with a software-defined platform of top-quality hardware that is fully integrated with a tested and supported development environment. With the WBT as a product platform, your customers can be using your supplied software capabilities within weeks, or at most a couple of months, depending on the complexity of the software application. That is much faster than the SDR and PC combination.